Hello everyone, I am Formulation Oyebisi, and today we'll be taking you through how to make a body lotion. You know, from the base to the additives to the oils. We'll be talking about all those things this very video. So if you are interested in making a body lotion, you know, maybe for those of us that are caramel, those of us that are light skinned, you know, it's something that will go universal for every different skin color. So I'm sure you'll be interested in knowing how to do this. Come along with me. So yeah, welcome back to the production proper. Before I start my production proper, I would like to identify the different components we'll be using for this cream. Here is my base cream. For some of us that are not just watching my video for the first time, I made a base cream video that can be used for any skin type or any purpose. You know, I used sunflower oil as my base oil in that cream. If you have not probably watched that cream, so that you understand everything we are talking about here, you may need to watch that video. Check on top of the screen, you will see a link that leads you there, or you can check the subscription down below. Now let's go on. Here is my distilled water. Here is my mulberry. You know, because we buy quantity maybe of the mulberry and some other things. Sometimes when your mulberry is exposed to the hair, it cakes. So what I did was to put the caked mulberry into a container and I added distilled water. Sometimes it may even react. Maybe the container will start swelling. You just add your Jamal Plus, then you have this. So I can call this my mulberry solution. Also, I have my rose hip oil. I will also be using my jojoba oil. Here, I have my alpha arbutin powder. I have my sepia white powder. I have my allantoin powder. I have my niacinamide powder, as well as my collagen powder. So, also, I have my fragrance. And lastly, my preservative. So this production will be going on with all these things I've mentioned, and as we go on, I really believe you understand the production very well. Now let's go into the production proper. Here is my base cream. I'm scooping in my base cream into this container so that it will be easy for me to mix everything I will be mixing. That's why I'm doing this. Make sure you remove every part of the cream, no matter how little. It should not go to waste. Now thereafter, I'll be adding in my powders. You know, these powders are water-based powders. And I'm using 5 grams of this. This is my alpha arbutin. You know, these are natural powders. You know, alpha arbutin is a brightening agent. If you use it in a very high quantity, it can even whiten the body. But because this particular production we are making is for all skin type, so we'll be mixing all our powders. I'll be mixing all my powders inside this particular bowl, and I'll be using my distilled water for that purpose. Here is my sepia white powder. I'm trying to hasten up so that I will not take so much time making this video. You can see I'm trying to pour the powders in different segments, just for the fancy anyway. And here is my niacinamide powder. So niacinamide powder, sepia white powder, alpha arbutin powder, they can be classified as brightening, lightening, whitening powders. depending on the concentration we decide to use. For those people in the academy, they will understand some of these things better. Now, here is my collagen powder. So, this is the last powder we are adding. You know, we also added allantoin powder, collagen powder. You'll be seeing, so after pouring in all my powders, here is the distilled water. I'll still be using this my spoon. I'll be adding the distilled water. I'm mixing in all my powders this way. You have to know the measurements of water you intend to use. As for me, I'm making a lotion like I said. So if it's lotion, it's usually a little bit lighter than if it's probably the cup. So this production is the lotion. So I completely dissolved all my powders. Here is 100 ml of water, distilled water. You can use rose water. If you have rose water, you can use the infused water, depending on the purpose and for particular reason you are making that solution. So you can see if this is 100 ml, I used 80 ml of the solution. So I'm pouring in my powder into the base. Make sure you mix the powder thoroughly before pouring it into your solution. Now, thereafter, I told us that I dissolved my mulberry inside distilled water. So if you don't want to end up with a pink colored cream, please, you cannot use mulberry. But because I don't mind this pink colored, that is why I'm using mulberry. So this container is a 30 ml container. I used only 15 ml. Now here are my oils as well as my fragrance. I'll be mixing it together before adding my oils and my fragrance. Here is my mixer. After a little mixing, I'm adding in my rose hip oil. I'll be putting in the measurements on the screen as I measure it. This is rose hip oil and I'm using 20 ml of my rose hip oil. Here is jojoba oil. I am using 20 ml as well. I hope you can see. I wrote the name on it. I'm using 20 ml as well of my jojoba oil. This lotion can be used by children. There is no ash chemical, nothing ash. In fact, the base was made with sunflower oil, so there's nothing ash. Now, I'm going to go back to now. Initially, the base cream is really thick. So I'll be using the whole of the mulberry now. I'll be adding everything. In fact, you can add more depending on the consistency you want. Also, I'll be adding in my fragrance. For this particular production, I'll be using just because I said children can use it. So we're not going to use too much of the fragrance. So I'm using 10 ml. This is a container that measures 20 ml. I hope you can see this. I'm using 10 ml. And the particular fragrance I'm using to make this body lotion is called Bacol. It smells really nice. Bacol. When you use this, you really like the smell that goes after you after the day. I want to do another set of mixing. Thereafter, Sorry, I almost forgot my Jamal Plus. Okay, let me hold on to get my Jamal Plus. Here is my Jamal Plus. I'm just going to be adding 5 ml, very little. I'm just going to be adding, this is 30 ml, you know, just a little, because the particular base cream that I used is just 300 grams. So we're just going to be adding anything that has a component of water. For the fact that it has water in it, you have to add your preservative. The allantoin powder we added, as you will have seen on your screen, is for anti-rashes, anti-reaction. Maybe you have a sensitive skin. You can see that I brought back my distilled water. I feel that this lotion is too thick, so I'm adding in the remaining distilled water. You know, I already added the whole mulberry concentrate. I added my oils. Don't forget that we added in the powders before we added the oil. We added the perfume. You will have seen it on your screen, and our Jamal Plus. So our I'll be showing you pictures of the packaging. On packaging, because you can see something. Look at it, how beautifully looking it is. We have a lilac, you know, I hope you can see this. We're having a somehow, you know, lilac outcome, and this is because of the mulberry. If we have added more mulberry, the outcome, the color will have been giving us a pink color. So if you like it this way, you are good to go. I love it this way. I love how fluffy it is. I love how smoothie, you know, almost looking like an ice cream. Please, parents, don't put this close to the children. Let them not assume that it's ice cream. So we are going to be packaging it now. I hope one day I'll be making a video on some of this packaging. Please don't forget to check our Instagram handle. We have some of these containers for packaging. Everything used in the production of this cream we have for sale. Don't forget to subscribe if you are a newbie. If you are not a subscriber, don't forget that we'll be having a free training. For those of us that are not aware of the free training, we'll be having a free training. We have some courses that will be coming up. For newbies, this is the channel to be. I will advise to subscribe and press on the notification bell so that when videos are uploaded, you will be the first to know. Thank you for watching.